But yes, going back to the nice segue that Kobe went into about a driver that's doing very well in IndyCar at the moment as well. Following on from the IndyCar race on the streets of Detroit, which had about an hour and a half under safety car conditions, Arrow McLaren's Théo Pourchaire has received hateful messages, including death threats, and after making contact with Agustín Canapino during the race. Now, this may sound familiar to you because it's happened before, but with a different driver involved. In the two separate incidents last year, Canapino's then Juncos Hollinger Racing teammate Callum Aylott was on the receiving end of online abuse when he upset Canapino fans. Aylott pulled out in front of Canapino at last year's race at Long Beach, and his fans felt like he cost Canapino in the race. Then Aylott made contact with Canapino in the 2023 season finale at Laguna Seca, which ignited another social media firestorm. Now, many feel like Juncos didn't do enough to support Aylott, who was let go by the team very late in silly season, when all the IndyCar seats were essentially leaving him without a full-time ride in 2024. Thank you very much. We're coming back in from McLaren, giving him a couple this year. Now, as you see on your screen here, the joint statement put out by Arrow McLaren and Juncos Hollinger Racing. Ironically, the two teams have a technical alliance. Joint statement says that Arrow McLaren and Juncos Hollinger Racing statement as well. The past 24 hours have unfortunately provided our teams with a stark reminder about the necessity for respect and civility in our online interactions. Social media allows us to engage with our fans around the world, but it is important that we interact with each other in a respectful and safe environment. We will not tolerate any form of abuse or discrimination, and those participating in such actions are not welcome in our online community and will be blocked. The entity IndyCar Series delivers dynamic action on the racetrack and incredible access for fans, but we must remember that behind the wheel, the pit wall, on the monitor, we are all human beings. It is vital that we collectively maintain a safe and welcoming community for all those involved. IndyCar released a shorter statement. No one should be the victim of online abuse or threats. IndyCar has been in touch with both teams to discuss this matter and made certain where we stand. We all have a responsibility to reinforce a welcoming atmosphere and firmly denounce clear violations of online conduct. Now, Pourchaire said he received hateful messages and threats over such a small incident and hoped people could understand that we are all humans who make mistakes, urging everyone to please be kind to each other. However, those statements didn't seem to be having an impact, so Juncos Hollinger Racing released their own statement, separate from the one with Arrow McLaren. Following the racing incident that occurred in Detroit, we have seen a rise of online abuse towards our competitors. At Juncos Hollinger Racing, abuse, hatred, and harassment in any form is unacceptable. It is not tolerated within the Juncos Hollinger Racing community and is not representative of who we are as a team. We are working with those affected to identify the individuals responsible, and any violations of this policy will be blocked from the Juncos Hollinger Racing community. We are committed to creating a safe and inclusive environment for all and believe that no one should be made to feel unwelcome. As IndyCar fans, we must all work together to create a community where everyone is treated with respect and kindness. People also called on Canapino to release a statement as well, but after seeing the statement he put out, many wished he would have remained silent instead. Agustín Canapino said, "Of course, I am against abuse and hate. Those who engage in such behavior are certainly not part of our community and are not welcome here. Also, we Argentinians are passionate and euphoric, but that doesn't mean we should be accused of something we are not. Therefore, I strongly reject being generalized and placed in a category we don't deserve. I have not seen a single death threat directed at those who claim to have received them. From last year to today, no one in their right mind would do such a thing. It's outrageous to be accused of this so lightly, and I won't allow it anymore. If anyone did this, they are not part of us, and we don't deserve to be considered this way. This was because of some misfit we strongly reject. The majority of our fans are respectful and kind people who I deeply support and thank for their continuous support through good times and bad. I constantly receive abuse and hate, and I have learned to live with it as many people do, choosing to ignore it. There's no sadder and more miserable than hiding behind social media to insult others. Lastly, I take this opportunity to invite everyone to reconsider and help others reconsider that we must base our actions on respect above all else. We are free to express our emotions and feelings, but with respect and tolerance, it's the best way to evolve and become better as a society. The general consensus is that Canapino doesn't understand the seriousness of this situation, especially since he's liking posts on X, seemingly making fun of the whole thing. He liked a post from ESPN Latin America IndyCar broadcaster Martin Pontinet that said Callum Pourchaire, including others that made him look insensitive. Now, a big shout out to @Begal's DFW on X for making this edited version of Canapino's statement to point out which parts of his statement should have been left out as well. The parts that most people had a problem with were Canapino saying that he hadn't seen the death threats and basically said they should just get over it and live with it. How disappointed are you in Agustín Canapino for how he is handling the situation? And now, does IndyCar need to step in since it's happened again?
Yeah, before getting the answer, you're going to read comments there from Matthew Owens saying, good Lord, what a disgrace these people are. And Matthew also adds, if you watch other international sports, you know that this isn't a fluke, that this is very much a pattern. I see that a lot, especially from soccer fans. You know, soccer fans are very, you know, you guys call it football over there, but soccer fans, I see a lot of hateful messages within that community, and it's very unfortunate to see. And Adam Limmery says, sad to see what's happening regarding IndyCar stage. Remember, think about what you post on social media. Well, Adam, all those people are behind the screen, so they assume that they can say whatever they want without any consequence. But like we always say in these situations, that you really never know what a person is going through. Like Théo Pourchaire could be going through a really tough time. Callum could have been going through a tough time in the two instances he got hate, and just seeing one of those hateful comments, you know, could really trigger something within a person to you know do something that you know that you wouldn't want them to do. And I want to start off by saying that I remember when it was first announced that Agustín Canapino would be coming to IndyCar. I know most IndyCar fans, people here in America, didn't even know who this guy was. But if you look at his resume, very impressive. He's basically one of the GOATs of motorsports in Argentina, one of the best touring car racers in the history of that country, highly respected, and has a large following in Argentina. And his fan base, you know, obviously very large, and follow him wherever he goes. And last year he showed some flashes of brilliance, and as time went on throughout the 2023 season, he improved his performance. And start of this year, I've noticed a big jump in Canapino's performance. Although the results don't necessarily reflect that, I think Canapino is doing a really good job on the track right now as he continues to get more experience in these open wheel cars. And I think Canapino can continue to be more competitive moving forward. But however, I think while he may be doing better on the track, he's not doing so good off the track at all. It was really disappointing to see the statement that he put out. And just like we saw in this edited version here, there are some good things in this statement, and the things that are crossed out, those are probably not the best things that need to be in there. And I just want to say, just because you don't see the actual death threats or hateful messages, that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that just because you don't see them, that doesn't mean that, you know, these guys are lying. And I don't think Arrow McLaren, Théo Pourchaire, or Callum last year, you know, would have, you know, lied because I want attention or something like that. I do believe that they were sincere when they were saying that there were death threats and there were other hateful messages. I just don't see a reason why those guys would lie about that at all. And then to see Canapino liking posts on X, you know, basically making fun of the whole situation, it really shows us that he truly doesn't understand how serious of a matter this is. And I think that's the most disappointing part, that he just, you know, just can't take some time and try to see it from another perspective of why this is not acceptable here in the NTT IndyCar series. I'm not even sure if he's aware that, that you can see your likes on X, that people can see what you are like. And so that's why you don't necessarily need to be careful about what you post on social media. You need to be careful what you like as well, because that can come back to haunt you too. And for the way Canapino's been acting throughout this, it's just not a good look at all. A lot of people were fans of his before this, and after this, after seeing all the comments on social media, it seemed like he's lost quite a bit of fans and support, because they're disappointed to see how he's acting. If anything, this just shows that IndyCar potentially needs to force him to take some sensitivity training, because I feel like that's something that he really needs right now to see why this isn't okay at all. And I believe that this should be taken very seriously, but for some reason, it seems like Canapino just doesn't get the point right now.
Yeah, not really much more to add, Kobe, to what you said there, to be honest. Someone needs to tell Augustine, or teach Augustine, should I say, the old phrase, if the tree falls over in the woods and there's no one around, did it make a sound? Because it's definitely happening, because we can all see these things on social media. If he's looking the other way, they still seem to be happening. We talked about it at Long Beach last April. We talked about it at Laguna Seca at the end of the year, the Callum Ilott stuff. And, we were all in agreement there. This stuff needs to stop and go away. And we thought we got past it because, there hasn't been an incident so far this year to have this happen. More on the Detroit track when we get to Knots later. But is this now going to be a thing every time that someone involves themselves in an incident on track with the Juncos car, whether it be their fault or not? Are they going to then have a barrage of social media messages coming their way? Don't forget, there was also talk, or has been talk over the last couple of years, of IndyCar potentially going to Argentina for a race. Stop. No, do not do that. If this is the thing that's coming back at you from the so-called fans of the sport in that part of the world. It's just sad. And as I said, when we talked about it at Laguna Seca last year, stop, please stop.
Yeah, and based on everything we've seen so far with the two instances with Callum Ilott last year and Théo Pourchaire this year, if IndyCar still wants to go to Argentina, I'll be honest with you guys, I'd be very concerned for the driver's safety, given how the Canapino fans have acted out. And if I'm a driver on a track, if I'm racing Agustín Canapino, I'm giving him as much room as I can. I don't want to hit him, because you probably know what's going to be coming your way moving forward. If I was like a Callum Ilott or Théo Pourchaire, and it's like, we're going to be running an off-season exhibition race in Argentina, I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I love my team, but you're gonna have to hire somebody else to drive that car, because I would not be interested in going to Argentina. If that's what they're saying online about you, it makes you wonder what are they going to do, if they see you up and close in person. I would really be concerned about IndyCar driver safety if they were to go to Argentina.
I think me and Matt need to keep silent on that matter, judging by history. I don't think we can say too much about it, because we keep... moving on as well from that one. Let's send Jeremy Clarkson. That always seems to go well, doesn't it? Every time.
You can go and wait for checkered flag at the IndyCar race now.
Yeah. That would be fun. Well, thinking about it as well, MotoGP got cancelled. Their race got cancelled due to a political movement there as well that didn't want the race, and then it changed over. So the riders didn't want to go there either. And there was even an arson attack, wasn't there, at the track that burnt down the paddock complex?
The pit building.
Yeah. So
we could do another show on political machinations of countries and social media. Because since a certain battery mobile owner got hold of the platform formerly known as Twitter, it's gone exponentially worse, and that's all I will say on that.
Not exactly what we were expecting, was it? Coming into it as well. So anyway, moving on from that as well, let's have the latest then. Actually, I want to say one more thing. If you are struggling with mental health, anybody as well, if anybody is making you feel like you are not welcome or not normal in any way, let me say something. Normal is defined by what you feel is normal. If you wake up in the morning and you're feeling happy, that's normal. So that everybody has a place in this world as well. This is Pride Month after all as well. Everybody is welcome and everybody is accepted here as well. And I think motorsport is the one. In fact, I'm going to say motorsport is the only sport in the world where anybody can compete in racing, whether man, woman, transgender, anything. You can race in motorsport. It is the only sport in the world where everybody can race each other. And that, I think, is one of the best things about motorsport. It's just the fans that I think have got to change as well, because one thing I got really annoyed about after Detroit is the fact is that this is a sport. You're not there. You're not driving. You're not getting paid for it. You're not money it. You are watching it on the television. You have no right to have any other opinion than, oh, isn't that disappointing? Oh, that's brilliant. You're not involved. Those people don't even know you. You're a fan. Is a difference. Fanatical is different to what being passionate is. So people need to learn the difference. So if anyone's suffering out there, you are welcome and you are loved in this world as well.